I'm Dan Brazilian of Hoffman Estates, Illinois, and we are live at the Draft and Recap Show 2015. Over these next 5 minutes, we're going to go over the draft. We're going to say what you did right, what you did wrong, and who's stupid and who's not. Let's go through our thank yous first. Sean, thank you for showing up to the draft. Thank you. Kevin Green, thank you for drafting Heath Miller in the 3rd round. I heard he was supposed to be, according to ESPN and John Clayton, a guy that could change your offense in 2008. Thank you for drafting him. I also want to thank the shitty Wi-Fi at the Neighborhood Inn for almost making this draft a disaster for myself and everybody involved in Hoffman Estates. Neighborhood Inn, thank you. And lastly, I want to thank Zane. Zane, thanks for drafting the whole state of Texas or anyone involved in Texas football at any point in their life. Thank you. Now, this is the way it's going to work. It's going to be a little bit different this year than years past. Obviously, we're doing this live. And then secondly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break you guys up into 3 categories because this is too early to tell. I'm not ESPN. I'm not, this is going on the internet, so I don't want to be too aggressive here. But I'm not ESPN all over Notre Dame, okay? I'm not going to put you guys ranked in specific spots so all those Notre Dame fans can be all happy-go-lucky about number 10 overall ranking when in reality, you're not going to make a bowl and you're going to be out of the top 25 in a matter of 2 weeks. So the 3 categories they will be placed in. The number 1 category is the Mike Ditka category. These are for those badasses who know what they're doing day in and day out. These teams, 3 or 4 teams, I'll let you know here in a second, these are the teams that are my locks to make the playoffs. I think these teams are going to be fighting for bye spots of the 1st round. There's no doubt in my mind these teams will make the playoffs. The second category of teams, about 3 or 4, this is the Lovie Smith category. These are the teams that can get the job done. You can get to the playoffs. You can put up a 13-3 record, but they just don't have what it takes right now to win the whole thing. That's the Lovie Smith category. The last category, the category you want to avoid, is the Mark Trestman category. These are the assholes who look like they know what they're doing on the field, look like they know what they're doing in the draft room. Sounds like they know what they're saying, but in reality, you should never, ever step a foot on the NFL field again. You should never be around a mock draft again, let alone a fantasy football league again. Mark Trestman, thanks for the next 3 years of crap Bears football. Okay, so those are the 3 categories. If you make the Mark Trestman category, guys, please don't whine. Please don't go lock yourself in your closet and start crying, looking at pictures of your ex-girlfriend. Oh, she made me so much better. Oh, she made me a better person. No, one, that's bullshit. Second of all, Mark Trestman did some good things. He made 2 smoking hot daughters, okay? So there's hope for those Mark Trestman teams as well. What I want to break down right now is looking back at my last preseason rankings till now. I was 100% correct. Eric had the worst team in the league. I had the best team in the league. So these rankings most likely will be correct, but that's just some stats to throw at you guys. Second of all, to be real for a little bit, the teams that won it the last 2 years, the teams that won it the last 3 years all had 2 major waiver wire pickups. Last year I picked up Jeremy Maclin and Odell Beckham Jr., top wide receivers in the league. Sean and Tom did the same 2 years ago. And then the also common thing was that teams made big trades during the season. So don't get hung up now. You still have opportunity. You got to dominate the waiver wire. You got to make at least 1 good trade to put yourself on top of the championship. Okay, let's get this going. The first category, we'll start from the top and work our way to the bottom. All right, first category is the Mike Ditka category. These are my locks to make the playoffs. Tom, don't get a boner right away. Your team's in there, all right? I like your quarter. Boo. Tom, I like your quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger. I think you got a strong running back and flex combo, and I think Houston D is going to put up a lot of points for you. The only way that this gets messed up is if Ben Roethlisberger calls up Derrick Rose and Patrick Kane, they go out tonight in Pittsburgh and lock themselves in the bathroom with their girlfriends. That's the only way this team gets destroyed if Big Ben goes out and does it. I also like your wide receivers. Once Brian gets out of jail, I think that will get the good wide receiver quarterback hookup. Right now, Tom, I got your team making the playoffs fighting for a bye. The second team. I don't know if you drafted this team, Chris, or if it was your wife, or if you called Tom Brady, or if you met Tom Brady and Ashley Madison or something like that. But whatever you did, you knew that Brady and Gronk were going to be hooking up weeks 1 through 4, and I think that's huge for your team. I also like Eddie George on your team and Matthews. Your bench is a little bit weak. We'll see what happens with Marcus Wheaton, but I think the key is Tom Brady. With your team, he's been kind of slacking lately in the past few seasons. Not as a winner, but as a fantasy quarterback. The third team, maybe because you showed up for the draft, maybe because you're on auto draft. I don't know what you did, Sean, but I think you got the top QB in the league and the top running back in the league. Now, from what I've heard in the Chicagoland area, you follow the same practices as you teach as Adrian Peterson does with his kids and correcting them when they do something wrong. So I think that's why you picked AP overall #1, and I think it was a great pick coming back and getting Andrew Luck. So you got the top running back, you got the top quarterback in the league. That's a pretty tough combo to beat. Everything after that, I'm not sure. It's like one of those nights out with you. We start off a good time at your place, having a few shots, watching a few good episodes of South Park. We go to the bars, meet a few people, and then all of a sudden you black out, and then there's like nothing there. And that's when you go off and you draft Amari Cooper in the 6th round. That's how I kind of see your draft going. It's like a night out with you. You start off well, and then what the hell, Sean? What's going on? You're ordering dick pancakes at the diner, okay? I don't know. Those are my top 3 teams that are locked in. The next team, you're in either category here. You could be Lovie Smith, but you could be a Mike Ditka, and that's Tony Crank. Tony, at one time or another, everyone on your team was a fantasy football stud. Could have been 3 years ago, could have been 2 years ago, could have been last year. All your guys were top 10 fantasy players at one point. If they can all put together an above average season, I got you in the Mike Ditka group. But if you got Brandon Marshall, subpar year, AJ Green, another year like last year, Jimmy Graham, who knows if you can do that stuff on your new team, you might drop down a little bit. Anyways, you're ranked high like Notre Dame. I thought you'd like that, but hopefully you fall towards the bottom. The next team that's definitely a Lovie Smith team this year that fits this category well is Eric. It's your team. But since you don't want to give me a fucking interview, I'm not going to give you a fucking review. So, next team is my team, okay? We got, I'll be honest, I didn't have my best day. I think I got the best wide receiver combo in the league with Des Bryant, Johnson, and Landry. My big concerns are obviously at running back. I'll be honest. I got Murray, who's ranked as a running back 1. He's never done it before, so who knows how true that is. And I need Doug Martin to do what Doug Martin did 2 seasons ago. But I'll compare this team to my sex life. It's very mediocre talent. But as the season goes on, I'll find 1 MILF, I'll find 2 MILFs, 40-plus years old. They'll teach me a few things, waiver pickups. And then by the end of the year, I'm going to be atop of that, MILF orgy food chain with everything they've taught me, waiver pickups, and I'll see myself in the playoffs. The last team in the not the Trustman category, the Lovie Smith category, kind of on the Mark Trustman category, is Danny. Now, ladies, all the ladies on YouTube watching this, Danny is new. He is single. He's ready to mingle. He's 6'2". He loves to cook. And you don't have to worry about Danny in fantasy football and actually watching football on Sundays, because the way he drafted his team, I don't think he pays attention worth shit. So ladies, this is probably your guy. He cooks and does not know shit about football. Danny, your team's okay. I mean, you got a good wide receiver core. Odell Beckham Jr., Darius Thomas, and Mike Evans. But after that, your team kind of slips down. I know you're big on Travis Kelce, but just remember, Travis Kelce's team did not throw a touchdown pass to a wide receiver last year at all. So you started off well. You kind of traded off. You got some question marks out there, but now you got a free little wingman out there on the internet. So next team. Now these are the teams that are in the Mark Trestman category. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't see a lot here. Maybe you see something else than I do, like the rest of Chicago did in Mark Trestman. But here we go. Now, Scott, I hate Duke, but trust me, dude, I love more partying at the hood with you till 3 a.m. playing Christmas music and hitting on Gina, okay? So we'll just get that out of the way. But I really don't like your team that much, man. I don't like Matt Ryan at quarterback. He's always overrated. Your 2 top wide receivers haven't been healthy lately, Jones and Jeffrey. You need to figure out your flex spot. Sammy Watkins is there, but Sammy Watkins got a scrambling quarterback. He hasn't stayed healthy yet in the NFL. It's just too many health question marks for me on your team, and I just do not like Matt Ryan. But I love you, and I love the neighborhood. All right, Kevin, you meathead. You did okay for your first draft besides the Heath Miller. I think Heath Miller hurt you a little bit, dude. You got a strong quarterback, you got a strong #1 running back, but after that, you got Hopkins at Tate at wide receiver. Those are WR2s, 3s at best. Eddie Royal at the flex. He's a bear, I like that, but I don't think he's a fantasy starter anywhere besides bye weeks. But come on, man, why'd you pick Heath Miller? Just text me after this and just let me know why. Did you think it was Jim Miller, the former Bears quarterback? I don't know, dude, but let me know. And then I got Zane. And by the way, guys, in these groups, it's no particular order. It's just how I put you guys in. Zane, you didn't do that bad. I know you're worried about your first draft. You just went very Texas heavy here. You picked Tannehill, who I believe played for A&M or as a college quarterback. Drew Brees, who grew up in Texas. Andre Johnson, who played for the Houston Texans. You know, DeMarco Murray, Cowboy. Randall, Cowboy right now. My concern is Randall, your top running back, might not even start. They're talking about run DMC over there. Is TJ Yeldon even going to be ready for the NFL at this point? He's another one of your starters. And a very bold strategy. No kicker. And no kicker yet as of tonight. Very bold strategy. All right, that wraps up the show. I'm Dan Brazilian. Good luck to everybody. Remember, set your lineups tomorrow. These are due the bye week for the Chicago Bears, which is sometime in October. And I don't want to hear any of your remarks for this. This is probably the best rankings I've ever done. Your opinion doesn't matter. Only mine does. Thank you.